Hello there everyone and welcome back and happy 2018 everyone. It is time to start the new year off and I do apologize for the cold I'm currently suffering from, but with the sale going on we actually have a good surplus of players going on right now as I'm doing this recording, so hopefully that lasts us for a little while. Hopefully everyone's having a good time with Battlefleet Gothic, because I don't think we're going to be getting a whole lot of sales, at least for a good while, until maybe like the spring break type of sale. I don't know how Steam exactly works in terms of like sales aside from summer and of course the Black Friday and winter sales. So I think we may have a bit of a drought after everyone starts falling off. But this is an exciting time nonetheless, and I am itching to get into it rather. So let's get started, shall we? All right off the bat, we're gonna be fighting Dark Wraith again, and I should be pretty comfortable with this because I have a good sense of what to do. It's just a question of if I want to go with the 4 cruisers or bring in the Retribution for this or not, because the Overlords and 2 tires will provide me a lot of long-range firepower, and I won't have to rely on a Dauntless that may be hit or miss on its participation in this match. But without a doubt, I do still need a Dictator, maybe for the possibility of bombers, heavy bombers, but at the same time I should be okay if he's going the Lance build. Because if he's all fighters and bombers, I could kind of get super aggressive on him there. My torpedoes may not be very effective, but if I'm good about using my silent running and all that, I can basically just deny him a lot of damage until I get in close. Then I may not have much of a choice, but I do have 2 Auger Disruptors even then, if with a silent run available to just negate his bombers even at close range. If I'm so lucky, more than likely there'll be beacons on me, so that probably is not realistic. Well, I guess he's giving away his strategy then. So, Slaanesh, he's going to try and deny my orders there. Well, that's not too terribly bad, because the one main benefit I have in at least fighting against Slaanesh is that I got my other ships that kind of cover for me a little bit with the shield transfers, and I have been decently good about using my other ships to kind of protect each other there. So it remains to be seen if I'm a little bit rusty though after the holidays. So hopefully this won't be too terrible display, but I'm not going to have a very aggressive like spot to put like a gas cloud in, because these asteroid belts are kind of in my way. But at the same time, if he doesn't have bombers, I could just punish the hell out of his fleet comp. So that's not a big deal just yet, because I can just force him to come to me if I really think I could get away with it. It's unlikely, because was it? So this is a Stig or the battleship. The spoiler. So we got to be ready for that. His beacon's not going to mean a whole lot there, because I do have the gas cloud. So I have the long range firepower. I have a lot of torpedoes to abuse, so I do need to be mindful. Well, I could, worst case, if I'm worried about not doing damage to him, I could always fire decoys, in all honesty. That is a real strategy I could employ, especially since there's no beacons or that in the way. So it's just a question of how to aim these properly to maximize the value of those decoys. Because how the decoys are supposed to work is I fire a torpedo at slightly off angle, so that way his fighters are drawn away from his fleet. And then I fire the other torpedoes several seconds after giving that window. But this is probably a poor display, but he did spread his fleet though, so at least in this torpedo salvo is still going to work regardless. Yeah, because what, the Stig's all by itself. I just got to turn to engage the ships on the right. I pretty much ignore the Stig altogether if possible. Although, let's see, I'm already turned there, so I'm not going to get to utilize my decoys as much as I like. And my torpedoes are bugging a little bit because the reload expired. I think that's what's causing the bug sometimes, when it looks like it's available yet it isn't actually. Now, Widowmaker, you go about face. We'll keep him with torpedoes. He does have like an asteroid belt that he's going to have to fly around, so I could kind of predict where he's going to fly to. And yeah, the Stig's so far away, I'm going to get more potential torpedo hits. He is flying towards me, mind you, so it's not like it's going to be very potent. It's not going to be all that devastating, but still, it is something working to my advantage still, to soften him up before the real fight. I just gotta get the Widowmaker in position. I gotta get all my ships in position to maximize damage potential. Because that beacon's going to get spotted. I'm going to get one of my ships spotted. I still have silent run, so it's not a big deal just yet. And I could just turn and get ready to receive them. So he does have a range increase, although that's again going to be short-lived. Because he's only got one ship shooting, and I'm pretty certain that is an indicator it's a despoiler. Is what all those lances kind of tells me. So that's a good information to get off that. Now, just got to get myself hit in. What a waste there, because that's going to be short-lived. I got a good amount of damage here. I just got to keep it hitting and maximize damage potential. Okay, so is that... So he's micro-warp jumping in, that's fine. Let's just try and prioritize this, because he's making it easy for me. So let's just get some point fighters in the way. Or at least frigates in the way, because this is still going to hurt. Let's not kid ourselves. And fire torpedoes as well, if possible, because my own Cobra is kind of making that difficult sum. So we may be forced to have to fight this thing, but... Let's see. Weaponry is being destroyed. Let's go all out. Maybe a mistake here, but... Let's try and... Well, let's see. Shields are gone there, so... Shields are gone, but only short term. Because now... Let's board. We got Auger Disruptors, so... Aside for the one beacon on my cruiser, which I gotta keep that in mind, I gotta try and keep that from detecting the rest of my fleet. Because it can absorb one shot, and I do have Auger... Yeah, I have means to kind of hide the rest of my fleet. At least only temporarily. While we finish this thing off, it's taken a big, massive beating. I gotta be mindful of the bombers still, mind you. But that's a lot of firepower. Let's see, more shield transfers. And let's keep... Can we finish this off? It's just got Slanesh, so... Finish this thing off. That's all I need right now, is to finish this thing off. Well, hopefully this thing can avoid some fire. It's still going to take a bit of a beam, mind you. And don't bug out on me again. I haven't been paying that much attention to your damage potential, but I don't want you bugging out on me. And it's possible latency is also an issue here, so... Repair everything. Unfortunately, once that thing's dead, this thing should be hit, and here's hoping. This thing needs to die immediately. And I'm still worried that my weaponry is bugged out. I am seriously wondering if my weaponry just bugged out, so, okay. It should be dead now. So, in a moment, this thing will be hitting. It actually already is hitting, so that's a big benefit there, taking advantage of that weaponry. And I think we're having a bit of latency there. Okay, it's a success. We destroyed the battleship and nothing died a horrible death, so... I need to be a little more proactive, I think, with the Auger Disruptor. Well, to be fair, I kind of burnt one, maybe two of them. Always too many clouds. Well, I hate to break it to you, that is kind of my strategy. I demonstrated my last Battlefleet Gothic recording. I can kind of ideally bully you out of the cloud there. Just due to my torpedoes there. More often than not, anyway. Although, what is it? I can't remember his name, I apologize. But my opponent there, with him not utilizing any fighters, or at least he had a devastation. I take that back. He only had a single ship with fighter supports to kind of shoot down my torpedoes, but even then, I could kind of brute force and bully him out of any point that I want. Almost, anyway. So, with him facing his prow to me there to minimize the torpedo damage, I could probably not do the damage I want still, and he could still potentially be aggressive, but... I have means to force him out of any position I so wish. At least it's in my favor anyway. I would have to play more as Chaos rather dealing with torpedo spam to at least confirm if that's true or not. But so far from my experience, I can soften him up really nicely there. And hell, I could have probably fired more torpedoes at the spoiler if I so wished, and maybe soften him up if I knew he was going to go kamikaze with that thing. Because that seems to be what they're doing with most of, what is it, the spoiler anyways. They normally put a Nurgle on, mainly because it's like slower than the rest of his fleet, so it kind of naturally falls back or falls away from the rest of the fleet, which kind of makes it awkward for defensive purposes, like I've been talking about before. Just shooting at the cruisers, everything else, when they were away from the despoiler. Although, it still did a fair amount of damage. If I could somehow get those torpedoes on the despoiler itself, I think I would have a field day hitting that thing. But I would need some way to destroy the fighters first, though. Alright, looks like the rematch is happening there, so I was kind of hoping for another opponent there with the number of players that we have swelling at the moment, although that can easily be construed it there a little bit due to the campaign and this, the skirmish mode to build up fleets, so it is kind of difficult to know who's actually playing multiplayer, but I do like the diversity. It helps at least make the matches more interesting, because if I keep fighting Dark Wraith and I keep seemingly destroying them, if that's going to be a constant trend, then what is there to even this video then in that case? If the outcome's already kind of can be predicted more often than not. Do I even do the same fleet? I would like to mix it up a little bit, but we'll stay with something consistent to help break in the rust, or break off the rust as it were, because it has been a week, if not more so. So this helps keep things nice and simple, and there's a lot of firepower for me available. Although, since I know what he's fielding, I could have gotten away with a Dictator there, as a kind of like a way to destroy his fighters, so I could get a lot more aggressive with the torpedoes, at least at like 6,000 unit range. Maybe not so much at outside that, quite frankly. Oh boy. I hate those teleprompters. I hate those adverts. Damn it, they're annoying. And, oh well. I wish I could think of something witty there, but I can't. I'm just here to purge heresy. And what I'm smelling is heresy. Oh well. Nonetheless, after that last match there, I am really comfortable or confident what I could do there. And only downside, of course, is his beacons can easily negate these gas clouds. So I don't want to try and go for these gas clouds immediately, because I want to still make use of them for like the Auger Disruptor, if he's going to do the same strategies he did before, where he's basically going to commit kamikaze potentially with his despoiler, and that way, after maybe a beacon or so goes off there, then I could probably just fly towards it, then just Auger Disruptor to kind of save me having a silent run, or at least hold on to my orders for a silent run anyway. So we know the strategy there. I gotta be mindful, he's likely gonna go right though, so my torpedoes are not nearly gonna be as effective here. Oh boy. He's really selling it though, isn't he? If only I had 4 Primarch suns in the 40th millennium. That was back 10,000 years ago. They probably would have considered it, but not now. Mainly because we only have 1 at this point. And I think he's kind of leading the show. Nonetheless, I do need to take that beacon seriously, since I don't have like the easy fall off. It's kind of like, oh, it doesn't even look like he's using this spoiler anymore, so let's keep that in mind too. I could still silent run when necessary, but he does have extended range, so let's be mindful of that. So torpedoes, let's get ready to start firing. Probably not going to get the hits I would like, but any damage I could get will definitely be helpful there. Soften them up gives me an even bigger advantage. Although I am going to get revealed, and my cruisers are a little bit too tightly clumped up, a little bit unfortunately. But I still have access to silent run, and I do need to pay attention to his movement there. But to be fair, he probably just has the, emission dissipator kind of hide his ships anyway, so it's not like I'm going to reliably hit with these torpedoes, but this is kind of what I'm saying before about bullying him back. Just keep bullying back, and my torpedoes didn't fire today. Yeah, there might be a bit of latency here. So I'm just going to listen for the emission dissipators and see what he does. Because I can bully him back, he's stuck on his half of the map. If I can get the hits, that'd be great, but I could still use these gas clouds with really no negative effect, no consequence, quite frankly. I ideally don't want to stay here, though, because of what I said. An auger a recon beacon, auger probe can basically cover the entire radius of that gas cloud, so it can be a liability if I try and rely on it a little too much. But let's see. Let's try and get this another torpedo wave off. I am getting some hits, not much of hits, mind you, but let's see if we could do a wide spread And I am almost in the gas cloud now, aren't I? Yep. So all the ships that were revealed are going to be hit momentarily. And then I'm hoping I remember which one is revealed. It was just the two on the right. I'm hoping. Because I would hate to not have all my fleet go in there, only to find out that they were still revealed the whole time, and then waste this entire strategy benefit. Is that going to hit the... I think that may hit the station, or the celestial body. Nope, not going to happen. But again, I still have the gas cloud. I'm good here. And at least it'll help with my conscience a little bit there. Some. Because then I'm going to have all my fleet go in the gas cloud anyway. Just kind of like alleviate things. So. Oh, he's just going to warp out. This is boring. Well. I guess that emphasizes my point a bit. Well, I guess I won't be buying Slaanesh today, or joining Slaanesh today. Well. Oh, he thinks he has the laugh, huh? Well, guess what? I'm recording the entire thing. Whether I put this on the YouTube series, the YouTube video or not, remains to be seen still, though. But it is a good demonstration of what I was talking about, at least a little bit. I can take any spot I wish, and unless there's a map that has like no gas clouds at all, which is even more unlikely than having like a plethora of gas clouds that I could use to my advantage, it's probably not going to happen even then. I can use silent running, which is going to be immediately effective, so even with Slaanesh favors, that's not going to matter too much, because I'm already going to be hitting at least at long range. Once he gets in close, then I will suffer the negative effects of not having my ores available, but if he's going heavy Slaanesh favors as he's claiming, bragging about, then he could basically negate my ores regardless, so it's not that huge of a loss when you think about it. But yeah, that just happened there. It wasn't very exciting. Good demonstration of what I was talking about, if nothing else, though. Well, I guess Dark Wraith is going to be mixing up a bit here, so at least this I can improve of there, because it can easily get very repetitive and probably a little bit boring there playing the same faction, at least if I'm going to be playing against the same character anyway, or same player. So what is the strategy with Space Marines? Well, ideally, make sure my shields are never down if that battle barge, assuming he's fielding the battle barge, has a lock-on available. So I'm going to need a Dictator to kind of help with that regard, and I don't know how this works out there, because yeah, I'm going to be missing out on an extra tyrant, and those armor piercing rounds are going to be valuable, so I'm just going to stick with the Overlords and a tyrant and Dictator to help deal with the Thunderhawks and torpedoes, especially if I ever get detected and want to avoid having to burn my silent running there. But we'll see how this varies there. Let's see how things mix up there, because I am going to have a really hard time doing damage at range. My torpedoes will be pretty good, so I kind of could play a passive role, unfortunately, which means I'm probably going to be hanging back a bit, with the exception of course, taking advantage of this one gas cloud I have here. But if I go that route too early, I'm not going to have the torpedo hits I would like. And if he's going to likely be done firing torpedoes at me, so I don't want to go straight for that gas cloud, so I'm going to be side strafing quite a lot, I think, here. So Overlord's on the side. Dictator's going to try and be in the middle to try shoot down what torpedoes may hit me. And I have to be very careful about boosting, too. Normally I have the convenience of boosting against Imperial Navy and, like, really orcs even, so, and they can't really punish me being revealed so much, at least not at maximum unlimited range like the Space Marines at Tau can with their giant missiles, so this will be a little bit trickier because I'm going to have to try and deliberately dodge these torpedoes, but we know where he's at. He's making it easy for me, even with these Stormhawks. So, no surprise, double battle barge. So, if I can do a lot of damage to him, that's going to be great. And that's going to be a lot less torpedoes as well that he can utilize on me. But I'm again going to have to want to play a slower passive route. So I think I'm going to just try and straight up avoid as much as I can. And I got to keep in mind my torpedoes are also going to be shooting pretty soon. I want to maximize my damage as well, since he only has 2 fighter squadrons with really slow lumbering ships there. I just gotta hope my dictator can go forward and do extra bit of damage. I want my dictator to try and shoot these down best it can. So, get moving. I know I still have burn retro still available, but torpedoes, the fighters are going to help some here. They're just not going to shoot everything I want, especially with this tight clump right on the dictator. But that works out well. Gotta be careful with taking more torpedo hits, and I need to try and be smart with my torpedo salvo too. Try and maximize my damage potential if he's just going to fly straight through him. Because I have the means to keep hitting him. Okay, my reload's bugging out on me again, so that's a little unfortunate. And we do have a Nova, which I can shoot with lances, and even the bombers to some extent. Dictator, do your thing. Overlords, get going. Actually, everything should turn. Try and keep a consistent formation here. And a little bit this latency is kind of irritating as well, but it's not too significant. It just might ruin some of my attempts to dodge, though. So, let's see. I told you silent run, or not silent run, but burn retros. So we'll see how this goes. And these torpedoes aren't really going to hit all that much. Not very well. And where's the Nova? Way over on the left. So I think I'm okay with that. Just try and maximize this damage best I can. I do still have the fighters, and they do it amazingly well there. Can I shoot at least this one torpedo that's going to hit me? Nope, unfortunately not. So there's some good torpedo hits there. I like to think anyway. It remains to be seen if those were actually good torpedo hits. But keep those hits going and try and get my firepower all maximized for the ship. And yes, boost on in. Boost on in, I welcome it. And we gotta get ready for a real fight there, because these battle barges are about to... Okay, so are those... Yeah, those are boring torpedoes, so he just auto-cast it on, probably on the left here. So, Dictator... Oh, I accidentally silent run with you, so that's a bit of a shame. Shoot down the boring torpedoes, try to anyway. And just board and kill this Nova. But now this lane C is getting really bad. I'm not liking it. So what's the priority? We got bombardment cannons on both of them, and he is bracing for impact, so I'm kind of okay with that. It means he can't lock on. I still gotta be careful of his ability to just murder me with the the bombardment cannons, but at the same time, he's not gonna have like guaranteed critical hits. Okay. Actually, let's do this a little bit differently. Just boost away. I have more speed than him. And if possible, just... His brace for impact's also gone, so this goes up well, but at least use your orders like I want you to, damn it. Now, I want to prioritize the chapter master, because that's going to be invaluable here. And dang it, I told you to silent run as well when I didn't want it. Oh well, I got no excuses there, but let's just board. I do have I can still get value out of the silent run, but this is brutal hits right now. But this lane C is a lot worse than it was before, at least. At least in comparison to the Chaos matches, so that kind of stinks, but this is going well with the amount of sheer damage we're just doing on this thing. Can I hit the battle barge with a full broadside of torpedoes? I think I can if the lane C allowed for it. I don't know if it cooperates, though. And of course, the one ship that has... Dang it. The one ship, of course, that has... Damn it, I'm getting so distracted here right now. And he is firing board torpedoes, not a big deal just yet. Let's kill this thing quickly. We need to kill this thing quickly. Because the less firepower he has, the better. And I did lose my dictator, but... Come on, spawn that. I want to spawn all my Cobras, ideally, so... That way, I can deal with these Thunderhawks he's flowing my way. Ooh, look at all the damage already on his battle barge. So this is looking really promising for me. I need to get a better arc, though. Because he's still braced for impact, though. But even... Yeah, I haven't really been using my shield transfers, but I've kind of been waiting for it to lock on again. That's the really big, scary thing. Especially now. This isn't gonna... Well, his chapter master's gone, actually, so I'm hitting him harder than he's... Well, I'm actually hitting him as hard as he's hitting me. due to due to the energy prowess. So I can still do a lot of damage here. This latency really sucks. I hate it. It had such promise before there, but let's get this repair going. Let's try and finish this off, and I can't spawn any more cruisers or any more frigates, so let's finish this thing off. Torpedoes are the way to go. One good solid torpedo salvo without him using his brace for impact, so that is game. That latency is really irritating, I gotta say. Especially when you need to do all the heavy micromanagement there. Like, I need to spawn Cobras for the Thunderhawks. Ideally, try and keep my prow to him if he's going to do a ramming attempt, mind you. And just being able, well, I don't really have much excuse for it. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, though, how annoying the latency can be. Especially since I didn't seem to encounter it the last two times, or the last two matches anyway, with Dark Wraith, so nonetheless, it was another victory, and I only lost the Dictator. So that's a victory I can live with. That is definitely a victory I can live with there. I just feel bad for his battle barges that are not quite level 10 yet, though. But torpedoes are pretty good. We kind of had him worried about bracing for impact there. So that worked out well, especially since he did his brace for impact before I even got vision of him. So he couldn't get the maximum value out of that thing anyway, especially with the armor-piercing rounds in close. But there was a lot I need to pay attention to. Like, I kind of held back on the shield transfers a little bit and maybe forgot about them some, but the idea was to wait for lock-ons for shield transfers. So that way, I didn't suffer the guaranteed critical hits and chance my luck, I suppose, with at least 49%, what is it? Just 40% chance to critically hit roughly, so that's a lot more manageable than with a Chapter Master basically making a guaranteed critical hit, so that was the thought process there. I just executed really poorly regardless, because once I saw the second brace for impact, or hell, even the first brace for impact, these things only got, what, a 90-second, well, 80-second cooldown when you consider that a servitor, so I almost could have done the shield transfer anyway, and they still would have been up in time for the lock-on, ideally, considering how long the reload is for the bombardment cans. So, with that all said, that was still a scary damn fleet. I've found it the hard way how serious you have to take those battle barges when they're locking on back in my championship series. It was really one of the few losses I actually had in that series there, and I feel like that could have easily been corrected if I took advantage of the battle barge locking on, not just for keeping my ships alive with the shield transfer, but armor-piercing rounds would have had a field day with him if I got close to it. He basically would have had 50 armor on that mighty thing, and it would have died at a really good pace, so long as I'm good about mitigating the critical hits he could do to me. Good God, they're having to fight another match against Dark Wraith, although this is what I'm particularly interested in. And the reason I'm surprised by it is this is several hours after my last match, quite frankly. So, hopefully the sinus cold is not as apparent through the microphone. Here's hoping, but we will see how this goes. He has less points than me, and well, he's still got a good amount of sap cans on the battle station, mind you, but let me just try going brute force style. Although I know for a fact Dark Wraith doesn't have micro warp jumps as much, so the reason I want to go to Retribution Overlords is because of the extra auger disruptors it gives me, but that's probably not really useful, is it? I do need to be careful of torpedoes, especially when I'm trying to get in close, though, so Dictator's kind of mandatory here. We will see there. But nonetheless, I am interested about this. This is going to feel a little bit awkward because I'm not exactly sure how aggressive I should be in a space station assault, especially when I'm the aggressor. And oh boy, this latency is bad still. Oh God, this is gonna ruin my experience, isn't it? Oh well, not much we could do. The one benefit I have out of this is at least the battle station doesn't really have any upgrades to enhance its lances very well, so I can abuse that to some extent. Hell, I don't even, if Dark Wraith isn't gonna use any fighters, then I can easily abuse the fact that maybe I could brute force my way to the station with torpedoes. It's a possibility. I don't know if it's a good strategy though, because the battle station still has its own fighters after all, so with the cruisers kind of getting in the way, It may not do a whole lot, but I can soften him up because he probably is going to get in the way, you would think, to try and intercept my torpedoes. So that's how at least I can start wounding his ships, or at least crippling them some. Again, it begs the question, how do I want to proceed? I could go to the left. He probably will have beacons available. In all honesty, going through the center is probably not a good idea, but only reason I'm thinking of going to the left is because he can't quite field the mines into the gas cloud. Maybe at the very edge of it, but I should be able to secure that to some extent. His beacons are going to be a little problematic still, but I should be able to use that a little more effectively. That's my dictator. Is it? Oh, it is my overlord. Okay, I saw at first it was my dictator. But this should go a little bit better. I want to get my angles better for, like, start chipping him down with torpedoes still. So let's try do that. It's still worth my time to try and get some extra damage in. Although, my Widowmaker's kind of in the way too, so let's fix that as well. And I can play very slow and cautious here. If I think I can avoid the torpedoes he's going to throw at me. He's basically going to have the same torpedoes I do, I think. Like 4, maybe 5 cruises worth. We will see. Oh, he's not even the right direction there. But this will be the moment of truth. Can I kind of just brute force this? And I can dodge these mines relatively well. And once I'm by, I'll be scotch-free there. I just got to be mindful of my torpedoes and be good about flying through. It shouldn't be too difficult to fly through. I got to pay attention to the fact he has torpedoes too. He's going to be lobbing at me. They're all boring torpedoes too, so we'll see how this goes. I got to keep in mind his arc too. Dictator, I want in the way as much as possible, and at the same time I could just kind of just fire free torpedoes and maybe do some damage. It's not going to be drastic damage, mind you. But it is hitting though. It is going to start hitting. I think I can just hang back here. The problem though is I am not doing damage to his fleet, and if I stay this way, I can't really punish any damage I'm going to have on the station. So let's get turning, get ourselves ready. And let's see, stop lagging on me, please. I don't want you lagging at all if it's all possible. And these look like boring torpedoes anyway. So, we got some more damage in, so... And yeah, he did get some critical hits. The generator is a bit of a pain, but I can repair that easily enough. Okay, so he doesn't know how the boring torpedoes work, I guess. Because it's basically what? 40% chance, basically, to get like a successful critical hit? We'll see. I am still getting good torpedo hits in, so I may want to just forego fighting so far. And it is minimizing my damage there quite a notable amount. Well, damage I'm taking is not really significant, so let's be careful here. I do have a dictator still. So let's just move our way around. We'll give him this free round of torpedo salvos. He does have a battleship though. And with him basically going to reveal me anyway, I can kind of dodge this to a vague extent. At least vaguely, let's see how this goes though. It's not going to work too well though. No, I want you to just do a 45-degree turn, not like a full 90, you damn thing. There, so that helps minimize damage there. Dictator can fly on through, and we're clear of the minefield. Just gotta be mindful of his next torpedo wave. Because I am gonna spawn relatively soon, I could start hindering him. I'm gonna have this gas cloud utilized too. So let's take full advantage of this, shall we? Again, the big problem is not utilizing the torpedoes as fleet very well. That's a bit of a problem there. So, can I turn this in time? Probably not. I am going to take a single torpedo hit still. Now, let's get ready for the repairs pretty soon here, too. So, we got ships being revealed. We have fire. Now, And he's also taking asteroid damage, so I gotta keep in mind where he's flying. Now, is there any way I can board these, or bomb these, to kind of help deal with his torpedoes some? And I saw I told you just burn retros. Oh, he does have a beacon now, so that doesn't help me much either. Let's see, I did lose... No, I didn't lose my Widowmaker yet, although that's about to change, isn't it? To some extent. Gotta keep in mind, see if these stasis bombs are actually hindering me or not. And I do have the repair still available, so let's get the shields back up, shall we? So, torpedoes are going to be pretty significant here for weakening his fleet, especially when I have such a nice flank shot. I need to be smart with what I prioritize, so still. Now, so let's try and get some hits in. Weaponry is destroyed, so he is doing boring torpedoes here at the moment. The tractor cannons apparently, and the auger disruptor was a bad idea because I'm still in the beacon, so can I get more torpedo hits in? That's all I really want. Because he's chained these he's chained his stasis bombs, and apparently it's working against this. Let's see, I have brace for impact. This will still mitigate a lot of this damage pretty well, but apparently his tractor cannon is knocking me to my side too, but he's going to burn a lot of his ram damage here. What is it? His big red button at the same time. Let's see how this goes. This is a bit weird how his tractor cannon can just ignore the stasis bomb, but... Come on, I told you stasis bomb, so do that for me, please. And I gotta keep an eye on... Actually, I can potentially hide these. I don't have any more auger disruptors, so I kind of can't, in all honesty. So, let's try and do what damage we can. This thing took a bit of a beating, but I can still do a lot of torpedo damage here. And ram him really damn well, too. And this latency is going to suck, though. There's a real likeliness I could, even if this gets close, I'm going to probably lose because of the damn latency. Because you're not rotating like I told you to. It's a little irritating. So, let's try this boarding again. Get this going. Ram the side of this thing. Although it's probably not all that helpful. And he does actually have micro warp jumps on some of these things. Okay. I can outrun it to a vague extent. Now, try and manage this a bit better somehow with all this latency. I don't know how I'm going to manage it because it's ruining my ability to actually fight some. That's the only problem there. Although I could still finish off some of these ships here. Okay, finish this thing off. One more shot at that ship there, please. That's all I really want. So take the prow. It is a Goth ship, but I am out of the beacon. This thing should be relatively well hidden. Here's hoping. I'm hoping it's hidden. You are in a gas cloud. Please tell me you are hidden, damn it. This is really important to know. I hope... Apparently I'm not hidden there. Because he still sees even my dictator, so... Oh, it's the station, is it? No? God damn this latency. This is irritating. Oh well. This is not exactly quite a win just yet, because keep in mind we also have to somehow destroy the stations through all this. So, let's give him a ram. Keep his prow away from me, ideally. And just try and murder this thing. Now boost on forward. You will get your speed in a moment. Is that too close? Yeah, it was a little bit too close, not much. Now, this will be dead in a moment. I just gotta finish off with bombers and figure out how to... God damn it. Yeah, this latency is not really a mood killer right now. Because how much has it been hindering my effectiveness? How much has it been hindering my play in all seriousness? It is dead though, but now we're not done yet because we still have to destroy the battle station, which with the dictator I got means to do that, sort of. He has the bombers, he's gonna have a bunch of... He's been ignoring his, like, brutes, quite frankly, so... What can I do here? This isn't going to do a whole lot of damage. I could have braced for impact in all honesty to help mitigate that damage some. Because my prow will at least keep me from taking any damage, I just don't have ways to reinforce. And I don't think my torpedoes could just brute force through. But I can bomb it. It's probably not a good idea to waste my cooldown on this thing. And now, come on, fire at this thing. You have means to, damn it. I guess this is a loss no matter what. Even with his mismanagement. I still hate the latency though. How much did it affect me? As he flies right past me. His brutes are going to do minimal damage at least, but they are going to keep my shields down. Yeah, this is over no matter what I can do here. Well. Well. It was close there, regardless. I'll keep this thing alive, although these bombers are probably... If they're bombers, they're going to do, like, no damage. We'll see what happens, because he's still got the extra damage on the ram. Nah, I didn't make it. That's a shame. This latency. I seriously wonder how much that messed things up. Sure, my play wasn't spectacular either, but... That's kind of what you need most, is the consistent latency, at least for the control. Being able to turn the prow. All that is so damn important there. Especially for dodging torpedoes too, even though a lot of that was not spectacular. I don't think I can say I learned anything from this match, unfortunately, because of that. It's really hard to say what I was doing right. Even though he had 100 points less than me, but again, I spent all my torpedoes shooting at the station when I could have shot it at him. In all honesty, I probably should have done that in retrospect, but can't really comment on much else of everything else, really. And the boring torpedoes basically are a 40% chance to critically hit because I have 60 troop value, so remains to be seen if that was the right idea. He did get critical hits on my generator, but thankfully, though, that wasn't really a big deal, in all honesty. I could hold off on the repairs until I'm actually ready to engage him. And then I just need a shield transfer, just keep it from taking too many hits until the shields come back up. And thankfully, it was the one in back. So, there wasn't any real risk of immediately repairing there, so at least the boring torpedoes getting those critical hits weren't really that significant. Still annoying, though. Still annoying to have to deal with that lag.